tests your mind, it tests your heart, it tests your guts.
Exactly. And speaking of testing your guts, in your mind, so congratulations, because earlier this year you completed the Sacred Woman. I guess I would like to call it. What would I like to call it? I would say it's definitely a rites of passage in a way. So, if can you talk a little bit? Because I know a lot of people. I've mentioned this book before. It's by Queen Afua, Sacred Women. Can you just share with people? Because that's how Nola and I connected. We met at the Kwanzaa bar crawl, and we started talking because about this book. So, and then you were telling me that you were basically in the rites right now. So can you just give a little bit of wisdom on what that was like and how that has like impacted your life?
Yeah, sure. Well, it was absolutely a rites of passage. That's precisely what it was. It was a journey that it's one of those things that once you go through it, you can't be the same anymore. And if you go back to what you were before, you want some licks. Like that's what the guy people would say, you know. um, it's it was such a beautiful journey. Queen Afua, you know, I don't even know the words to put into this because it's so powerful. Now, I think when you and I met, you told me, I started reading this book and the book was like, whoa,
Yeah.
this book is like a textbook, everything. It's so detailed and so intentional and powerful. So the concept of it is, it's a 12-week program. We went through 12 gateways throughout each week. But if you follow the book, each gateway it's about 21 days, which I actually want to go back and do it the longer route because it's just so immensely powerful. So you go through 12 gateways, and this is one of the gateways. Actually, this is a symbol of Ma'at, the values that I most resonated with throughout that program, because I found that the part of the program that kind of made me pause and broke me down a little bit is the part that deals with family. And I have had a lot of issues with family, mom issues, dad issues, and other family issues. And the gateway of Ma'at focused on getting in tune with your family, because one thing for sure is a lot of women who have issues with their mothers, they have issues with their womb. They So
Can
if
you
you're
like elaborate on the connection? Because I know there's a lot of this. By the way, I'm still reading this book because that's how intense and deep it is. So you find yourself rereading the same thing over and over again for understanding. But there's a lot of emphasis on the connection of, it's almost like your womb is your center,
Absolutely. The womb is the center of everything. There is not a person here who wasn't in there. That's where we all came from. This is like the portal from wherever we came from into this realm. So, we really don't give the womb the respect and relevance that we should. We treat it like it's irrelevant. We eat certain ways and we abuse it, and we carry a lot of negative energies in our bodies. And essentially this is like just as important as your brain. I didn't even know that when I read this book, I learned that women who have their wombs taken out, they're never the same again. It affects their personalities, it affects the way they think, it affects the way they function, and sometimes they're never the same. Didn't know that. And it just goes to show how important this part of your body is. And the program is really centered on the womb, although we don't sit around talking about the uterus all day long, but we definitely learn how important this is. We drink herbs, we go through detoxes, we do very special womb yoga, womb exercises, womb dances. And Queen Afua, honey, she is in her 60s, pushing 70. You should see that lady go on her head.
Yeah, I've seen pictures. Queen Afua is completely together. Like, she definitely is symbolic of what it means to respect your temple. And I really just, I admire her a lot because it's like, damn, I don't know if I'll ever get to this point, you know?
And that point is not necessarily for everyone,
Right.
because Queen needed to be there to give us what she's giving us. And I will tell you this, I have trust issues, but Queen Afua, just like Dr. Maya Angelou, there are people who, when they speak, it's truth.
Mm.
I've never had a situation where I'm listening to them and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I'm gonna do my research. That doesn't add up. Everything they say is genuine and true. Now, one really amazing experience that I had with Queen is my graduation, which is called an ascension. It took place in LA. So in January, we all flew to LA, all of my sacred sisters and I. The program was 200 women. So we were super deep in LA, and the last night when everything was ended, I had a chance to sit down with Queen and speak with her, and I said, I'm not staying in this hotel. The ascension took place in a hotel, and most of the people were staying in the hotel. And I told her I rented an apartment somewhere else, because I always rent apartments because I need to cook my own food. So I was like, and I have a gift for you, and it's back at the apartment. When can I give it to you? She said, I'm leaving tomorrow. Come back in the afternoon around 12. So I got up the next morning, got to the hotel. As I got off the elevator, Queen was standing right there with her suitcases. She was about to leave.
Wow.
So yeah, I was giving her a card with a letter. I needed to tell her where I came from to where I ended up, just because of the rites of passage. We went to the lobby. She sat down. She opened up that card. She read it. The bellman, the hotel manager, came over to her, and they were speaking to her, and she never once, and this is something that I learned too, she's reading this card and she never once looked up, because she was like, I'm doing something. You see me doing something, you're gonna wait, right? But she wasn't rude or malicious about it. It was just this Queen shit, you know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And I admired that, and I love that they understood as well, like, okay, we just need to step back for a moment. And I appreciated that she was that, she was that deep into what I was writing in that card. And when she was done, she looked at me, she put her hands on me, and that whole thing was genuine. So those are the type of women that I like to follow. And if you don't know who Queen Afua is, get to know her. She is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, guys, you should definitely connect with her. She's touched so many lives. You may have seen her recently with a lot. Black Girls Rock, I think she did a session on there this
Yep.
year. And she actually has worked with Lauren London and very close to that family as well. She knows a lot of celebrities, but beyond that, just like this woman is really doing godly work, you know? So if you are looking to improve yourself or looking for additional knowledge, I'm going to be dropping that in the description below. But thank you so much, Nola, for sharing that with everyone, because I think when you told me you were going through the Sacred Women passage, like I was like really astounded, because I was like, that ain't no joke, just because of what I read so far in the book.
It was a lot, because listen, we had to wake up at 4 a.m. every day, girl, and take a bath.
Wow.
Every morning. Even to this day, my sleep pattern can't get back to anything else. Like, my body just wakes up 5 o'clock and I'm like, can we sleep in,
Wow.
please? 4 a.m. between 3 and 5 a.m. That's the time when the powers are optimal. We can call it the hour of the goddess, when everybody's asleep. It's absolutely quiet. You can get up, do your devotions, do your rituals, and you take this bath. You have the herbs in the water, you have your candles, you have your crystals, you do your prayer, and then you start your day, and you're literally walking through the day like this, knocking everything out, because just in your mind, knowing that you're doing something that's empowering, it definitely gives you a boost.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful. I can't take baths in my house because I don't have a stand-up shower, but I think that is And yeah, I take showers, guys. I have to clarify that. But yeah, I think that's amazing. It's definitely, it's almost like you have this time of day. It's really early where you're really just getting your mind and everything attuned and aligned. So I really think that's amazing. And I'm gonna really try to finish read this book because it's just so
Take your
much.
time. I would say take your time with it. You know, read one chapter, let that resonate, let that marinate. And if you need to take a break for 3 months, do that. You know, make sure it's organic. Make sure that the time that you go through it is authentic to you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really good advice because sometimes you know how you like try to force things, and I'm always doing this to myself. I'm like throwing the bath water out with the baby. Like I force things on myself, and then it just doesn't stick. So, like you said, I think I'm definitely going to take your advice with the book.